Hello and welcome to Salina A&E. My name is David Hawksworth. I'm your host, and today we're at the Smoky Hill Museum with Nona Miller, who's the Curator of Education. Nona, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming out here to the museum.
Yeah. We're here to talk about a long-standing event at the museum called First Thursdays. Yep. Obviously, it takes place on the first Thursday of every month, but it's been going on for years.
It may be about 17 or so years since its beginning. It got started as part of a kind of a downtown-wide happening, but as time went on and things morphed, it just became kind of our First Thursday, and so we just keep calling it that. Folks have gotten used to it, and they come. We actually have some people who come every first Thursday, and they really don't know what the topic that evening is. They just come.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful.
And the topics are just so varied.
Yeah.
Over the years. I think my favorite one was the ocean fishes, and that's got to be like 15 years ago now. But it was a talk about that Kansas used to be at the
It used to be a sea,
an ocean, yeah. And there's all sorts of fishes that were in that water, and I think many people know that you can get fish fossils fairly easily throughout Kansas.
Yeah. You can find seashells out in the prairie, and a lot of times folks forget that they forget that what we see has only been here a blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. But the history of Kansas is so far-reaching and so changing. We also had one that was talking about the animals of the late Pleistocene. So we have the sea monsters, and then the crazy animals that were here, right up to something as recent as in December we had a talk about the suffrage movement. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we cover just such a wide variety, and we do have them on the first Thursday, so they are constant. We do maybe 9 a year. December, of course, and January don't lend themselves to first Thursday. Right. We're busy with family and doing other things.
And usually July, I think you take off because it's right around July 4th.
Right. Other than that, we are kept busy with all kinds of ideas. It is from 5:30 to 6:30, always. Well, I shouldn't, almost always. And it's free, always. We offer them in person. People can come to the museum, enjoy them here, or you can join us by Zoom. A couple of years ago, we had COVID, and so many things were done by Zoom, and people liked it. They like being able to join us by Zoom. So that's an option. One of the things I like about that is that the folks who join us, they come from all across Kansas, all across the nation, and we have some in other countries too. I've made some friends. I've gotten to meet some people from Sweden who watch us on a fairly regular basis, and I just think that's wonderful that our reach is growing that much.
And that enables you to get speakers from all over the country. I know there was one who talked about toys who was from Cincinnati, I think.
Right. Well, I believe, yeah. And we've had them from Florida and Iowa, people that we could not perhaps come in. Their time would not allow them to come down here. But they can certainly give us an hour and a half, 2 hours out of their day from their den or their office to help us. And some of our topics are, they provide base knowledge, ground foundational knowledge. Sometimes we dig a little deeper, and sometimes the questions that people bring with them guide kind of where the topic goes after a few minutes of laying some groundwork. So that is always interesting to me. And I like the fact that they can watch us by Zoom. We also stream live on our Facebook page, which is very cool. So if neither of the first two, can be done, you can always watch us live on Facebook. If for some reason you can't join us on that first Thursday, with the permission of the speakers, of course, we keep them up until like the following Tuesday. So if you didn't see it on a Thursday, or you just liked it so much you want to see it again, that happens sometimes. It's on our Facebook page for you to watch again. But we also want to offer a variety of topics because there is so much to offer.
Yeah, not only regionally, but just locally. I know we've had tons of I mean, we've had one on Camp Phillips, just outside of town here.
Right.
We've had
some on our town founders.
Yeah.
We had a very interesting one just on second stories. The history behind the second stories downtown buildings,
Right.
which was really interesting. We've had talks about Coronado Heights, dead towns, how this town has developed, the people that were in it. And so when I first started this, I'll admit, I was like, 9 times a year, what will we talk about? Now 17, 18 years later, I'm like, you know what? We're never going to run out.
Right.
We are never, and then you put in the people who were here before us, the Osage, the Pawnee, the Cheyenne, the Kansas, and the stories they have to tell. We had a talk about redlining not too long ago.
Right.
And there were some people in the audience who could offer personal experiences, personal knowledge to help that topic. So you just never know what might end up. There's just such a wide variety, plus our audience adds so much. Whether they're hearing person, and we do take questions off of Zoom, we do take questions off of the live streaming. So just because you're not here doesn't mean you can't participate.
Right.
We still have conversations with the people who are joining us by their computers.
And we should mention that the talks take place right here in the lobby of the museum, and the lobby is usually filled here. And I know you have an overflow area if you need it. So,
well, going to Zoom has helped so much. I would say well over half of our audience now joins us via the computer, either through Zoom or through streaming. But yes, and if you do want to join us here in the museum, you might want to come a little early. The best seats sometimes go pretty fast.
right.
So you come a little early. Like I say, they're 5:30 to 6:30 on those Thursdays. Show up a tad early, see what the museum has to offer, visit our store, see what might be going on in the other parts of the museum, what else we might have coming up. Join us for First Thursday. It's a good evening. It's only an hour, 5:30 to 6:30. There's plenty of evening left to go home, get into the comfy clothes and do something at home.
Or go downtown and have a nice meal.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Spend some time in Salina, yeah.
And the museum is located at 211 West Iron, right at the corner of 8th and Iron. So just a couple of blocks from Santa Fe and the downtown businesses.
And if someone's interested in knowing what's coming up, we do send out e-blasts. And when you come to a First Thursday, you can always add your name to our list that you would like to be on that. Or feel free to call the museum and say, hey, add me to your e-blast list at 785-309-5776. If you want to sign up for a Zoom link, just go to our website at www.smokyhillmuseum.org.
Enough talking about the past. We have some programs coming up in the next couple of months that are going to be really interesting as well.
Right. Well, I have some that I haven't confirmed yet, but they're going to be good. Trust me. They're going to be really good. And we do have in March coming up a First Thursday presentation called Hidden History of Kansas, an evening of stories with author Adrian Zink. And he's written a number of books, and we have them in the store. The first one is Wicked Kansas.
Okay.
I don't know that. And the second one is Hidden History of Kansas, but it's going to be all about Kansas. The hidden history, the things you might not find in your history book, or the things you might not find readily, he has found those stories. And some of our favorite ones we've had in the past have been about the dead towns or the ghost towns, the hidden stories. We love finding that hidden history that maybe isn't glaringly obvious or easy to find. That's coming up in March. And then, like I say, we have some awesome ones coming up. I just don't quite have them confirmed, but
The First Thursday talks at the museum are very popular. We want to make them even more popular.
absolutely.
So plan on joining us here at the museum in March. What's the date of the March talk?
It is March. I didn't write that down.
Ah.
I think it's March. I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
I would hate to tell you.
Well, we'll put it right down here.
Yeah.
We'll put all the information right at the bottom of the
Absolutely.
screen. So
5:30 to 6:30, free. Come on in.
yeah, 8th and Iron. Plan on spending an hour here and learning about the state that you live in, and I think it'll be really awesome. So, No, I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for
anytime.
filling us in on everything First Thursdays.
Absolutely. And thank you for coming, and thank you guys for joining us, and hope to see you at a First Thursday.
All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.